1, we're going to look at verses 6 through 9, at least verse 6 anyway. Verse 5, who are kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last times. Wherein ye greatly rejoice, through though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perish, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory in the appearance of Jesus Christ. Back in 1994, as a footnote, I said this. This is in 1994. I said this in 1994. You would have thought, no, that's the outline. I'm saying this. In 1994, I said this. Our times brim over with people in pain. Eyes downcast and empty. Tips us off that someone carries something heavy. Wounded by life, are withered and cheated by life that never materialized. Countless people mull over their hurt, waiting for the time traffic lights to change or the connection flight to leave. Many people just don't know what is happening in their lives. They're too preoccupied and busy to be healed. Something is not making sense in American Christianity today, 2013. In the case of millions of people, it seems to make no difference in their daily life to be a Christian. As a result, Christians are not always making much difference in the lives of others. On the surface, we certainly seem to be doing well. If we stand on the sidewalk in front of our churches, our ministries, it's hard not to be impressed. On the surface, that seems to be what's going on. We have the Christian publications going good. We have Christian celebrities and artists appearing on network secular TV. Christian institutions and enterprises have flourished over the last few years and continue to do so. So what doesn't make sense? More churches, more religious publications, more revivals, more singing, more praises, more everything. So what doesn't make sense? Many Christians, both individuals and families, make all the right Christian moves without seeing a corresponding and resulting effect. Although we may struggle with consistency, we strive to read the Bible and pray. Our marriages and kids have been made as bulletproof as possible. And we can manage our kids, and we can manage with the help of James Dobson and Bill Gothard and John MacArthur and Charles Stanley. Our car radios are locked into the station broadcasting our favorite Bible teacher. And the CDs and tapes are playing the newest Christian artist singing. We've galvanized our kids against the coercion of secular humanism and tried to solidify balance with all the right videos and video games and praise tapes. But something is missing. Grace is not penetrated. Grace has not penetrated down where deep hurt and sin and infection has oozed and scabbed over the years. Too many of us are musty spiritually people. They come in many sizes and shapes. One of these is the fractured life under plaster. The well scrubbed, dignified face we see on Sunday is paneling. Reality is underneath and will never come out. Maybe that's because the church isn't supposed to be the place for things like personal pain or feeling to show. We want people to always see us at our best, even if it's just plaster, and underneath it's about ready to pop. Even if it is, many churchgoers won't risk it for 100 reasons. A lot of those people sitting around us today, looking fine, really aren't. Christianity can seem like a deflated balloon in reality, but a limp one without such comfort. I wrote that in 1994. It's just as fresh as if it happened today. Somewhere in our huge churches where hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands of people are meeting, we have all these good-looking people dressed in their everyday clothes come to church thinking everything's right. Let me express to you today in 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 6 through 9. We've discussed the first is the joy in spite of suffering. The text teaches us there should be joy in spite of suffering. How can that be possible? Number 2, inexpressible joy is knowing Christ Himself. I can verify to you over the last 50-some years that I've been saved, the greatest miracle that you'll ever hold in your hand. You'll never see a miracle any greater than this book right here. Keep this book in your mind. Keep this book in your hand. Keep this book in your heart. Keep this book ready to be up to apply in your life, and it works miracles. I can tell you it works miracles, but it will never get you out of a trial. You are never to get out. You are never to pray that God removes the trial from you. There's a reason for trials. If a Christian is going through a trial, never pray that God removes that trial until they learn why they're in that trial. You've got to go through it. And Sunday I gave you a list of things that happen in our life that causes us to have problems, and the list are those very things that you've got to learn to go through. I'll back up. There are many ways people express their happiness and joy. What brings joy to a Christian is salvation joy. I am not sure many Christians really seem to enjoy the reality of their salvation. Many people believe that this salvation is something future, something that will occur in eternity's future, something that cannot be known on this side of death. Therefore, they already decide they cannot be happy or rejoice even being a Christian. Too many Christians, I am afraid, do not see the power and the glory which Christ came to make in their lives today. And that Christ can and does make an infinite difference in the whole life of man in this world, as well as to make eternal blessedness of our inheritance in the next. I imagine if you sit quietly in the late evenings or early morn meditation on the saints' everlasting rest, as Richard Baxter did, I would say none of us are spending too much time thinking about our present salvation and our future salvation inheritance. I would say we spend much less time on any aspect of our salvation. There is a salvation present and a salvation to be hoped for. Notice in verse 6 it says, wherein ye greatly rejoice. Verse 6. We who have His life are passing into the same glory into which Christ has entered. Having this life we are born, therefore, verse 4, to an inheritance incorruptible, undefiled, that fadeth not away. This inheritance is not here. It is not ours in possession yet. It is not part of the present salvation. It is reserved for us in heaven. At least we should come to believe that we're going to reach it. We have kept safe for our salvation.